Tony, can you believe it has been 4 years, 2019, since we've done our summer movie release episode? In fact, a lot of people who listen to the show may not even realize that we used to even do that.
No, Marty, I can't imagine that. That has been unreal.
You're just doing this because this is the second time we've had to restart this recording, isn't it? As I said, we are back for doing our summer movie release. And as always, on these episodes, we love to have our good friends Chris Kirkman and Dan Patriss on the show. Dan from Geek All-Stars and Chris from Dice Hate Me. Gentlemen, after a 4-year absence, welcome back.
Thank you. I got to say, I've missed you guys quite a bit. 4 years is way too long.
For about 30 seconds since we restarted. But before then, I've missed you a lot.
We're going to peel the curtain back because
it's all right.
So everybody's recording audio. Marty forgets to press the record for the video. Yes, that's right. Then we're also going to be on YouTube. So if you want to check out our YouTube channel, go and watch. You can see all of our smiling faces do this episode, or just listen on a podcast as some of you are doing right now.
I'm much better looking in audio than I am in video.
Yeah, I have a voice for audio. I mean, a face for audio. That's the word for it.
After 10 years of doing this podcast, we've always said we will always be audio, and I don't know what prompted us to do the video. It's hard telling.
So, guys, welcome back. I hope all of y'all are somewhat getting in the swing of watching movies again. We couldn't do this because there were really no big movies being released for the past several years, but this summer seems to have a okay slate. So it's not as full as it used to be still, but it's still pretty good.
It's still good. I mean, like I said, well, before, but anyway, but like I'm saying now, the list that when you sent over the list of stuff we're going to talk about here, I was excited because I was thinking, man, starting with Guardians at the beginning of May, I'm going to be in the theater like almost every weekend if I can pull it off because there's so many good things coming out.
I still feel like we're still not quite to the volume of movies from before the pandemic there, because we had so many to talk about that we actually had to cut some. And now we still have a decent amount, but I feel like you didn't really need to cut that many because there's not that many big movies coming out.
It's still a shallow bench, but there's still a lot of good things.
I mean, there's still great movies, and there's a lot of great movies. I mean, keep us busy because, I mean, with my schedule, I won't be able to go every weekend, but it'll keep me when I want to go. There'll be something good to see that hadn't been out like a couple weeks before that.
Yeah, it's like when we do this, and Mario will talk about our drafting at the end here in a little bit, but I was looking through all of them because we always do a dark horse in this part of our draft, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not in theaters. That's not in theaters. That's not in theaters. I'm like, holy cow.
It was a lot of streaming stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marty. What I was going to say is the hardest thing nowadays, and this is probably doesn't have anything to do with the pandemic, but I think this is more of just the way people consume media now with video, and everybody's got to have a video channel. There are so many fake trailers out there that it's hard to figure out what's real, what's fake, what's coming out. Like, you can look at who make it, and sometimes they do really good with their channel names where you just can't figure out. Like, there's only so much that comes from the exact Marvel or Fox or some of those, but sometimes you try to search for a movie and it's like it takes, and they're so good that some of them can get you. So I had a hard time with a couple of trying to find also rans or dark horses.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't realize that there were some of the fake ones. You know, I was like, wait a minute, that's not the real trailer. For the ones we were even doing, I'm like, what's this crap? Why is someone even doing this?
Yeah.
What's
interesting stuff that came out before the official. Sorry, Marty, go ahead.
I was going to say, with the deep pockets, a lot of these streaming services like Netflix and stuff, they can throw tons of money at AAA stars to skip the theater release altogether. I mean, what was the movie that came out last year that had Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and The Rock? It was like
was it
Red something?
No, Red something.
Yeah. Red Badge or Red, That
was really good.
Come on. You know, 5 years ago, that was in the theater, and now it's on the stream.
It wasn't the other Ryan Reynolds one with something Adam.
Adam Project.
Adam Project. Wasn't that also a Netflix original?
Yep.
Yep. Some really good movies have been coming out with Netflix originals or even Prime and such. I mean, Netflix has been a little bit more popular with it, but all of those streamings have been starting to do it now.
Was there been a lot of good movies?
Go ahead. No, Black Adam only feels like it went straight to video, but no, it was in the theaters.
It was in theaters for a couple of days. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to that actually. I saw that in the theaters for sure.
I saw that too. What's interesting though is in 2023, there's already been a lot of decent movies come out. There were some like smaller titles that came out earlier in January that I went and watched. Megan, The one about the AI robot.
You saw Megan, really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow. Was it good? Really?
It was creepy.
Was it a horror-ish, or is it like thriller more?
Well, it's PG-13, so it's not over the top, but it's a thriller.
Okay.
It's definitely a thriller. We had the D&D movie come out, which is worth seeing if y'all haven't seen it. I think before our recording got messed up, Chris, you said your mom went and saw it.
My mom went to see it, which is hilarious because I want to go see it really badly. I do. I mean, at this point, I'll probably have to stream it, but at the same time, my mom just out of the blue said two of her friends came into town, and one of them really, really wanted to see it, and the other one who wanted to go see it, I didn't tell you this before, is pretty conservative Christian, and so she had to be convinced to go see it. And she liked it, but after she left, she was like, "I hope God will forgive us." And I was like, "Oh, come on!"
There's nothing in that movie. It's just a simple.
Well, it's just the whole D&D stigma from way back in the day.
My
way back in the day.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart, exactly. But my mom really liked it. My mom thought it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm hoping that it's still in theaters in a few weeks because my daughter comes home from school from college down in Wilmington in a couple of weeks, mid-May, and she'll be home for a couple of weeks before she goes to Iceland. So we're just kicking her all over the world. She's going to go to Iceland for about 10 days, but I'm hoping that it's still in theaters when I can go with her to go see it, because now that she's kind of actually gotten the D&D bug, she's my little geek, and my son's my little jock. So I got a geek jock kids. So I can't wait to see it with her.
I think probably my favorite movie so far 2023 is John Wick 4. Holy cow. It was so good.
I'm surprised that was not a summer release, to be honest. I wonder why they did that.
I don't know, because it deserved to be. I mean, to me, it's up there with number one. It was, my gosh.
Really?
As soon as it comes out again, I'm going to go on streaming. I'll be seeing again. And what's weird is we talked about the draft, Tony. At the end of this, make sure to stay around after we do our discussions of the different movies that are coming out. We're actually going to do a draft. We're going to draft from the movies that we listed. What the goal is, you want to draft the movie that grosses the most money in the domestic market, the U.S. market. And you're going to add up all the movies that we drafted, and whoever has the most wins. And Tony actually won 2019 for the first time ever. But I was saying before our recording got messed up, the biggest grossing movie of the year is probably already out, and that's Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We'll for sure break $1 billion.
Yeah.
So the title is Screening, Streaming, or Steaming. And those are the three choices that we will have as we go over the list of these movies. And I almost added one as in drive by the theater, because the last time I went to a theater was for Top Gun Maverick in 2022. So we really haven't gone back to the theater much. We used to go every Tuesday night, and I miss that. Hopefully we'll get back to it. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more comfortable as things move on. But, until I feel like the theaters are back in full production, I'm not really missing
full production.
A lot of movies always coming out. Because now when I go look at the AMC 22 list, okay, there's 3 new movies and the rest are a bunch of repeats, or you can go rent out 5 theaters in the 22. So it's just,
in having them in more like wider schedule wise, because I think a lot of the theaters, even last year, they didn't have as many showings as they always had in the past. So I think hopefully this summer they'll have as many showings, because Chris and I, what we did for Chris, it had to be 5 years. Whenever the summer blockbusters came out, we would get together on a Thursday at like 10, and we would go watch the big movie that came out right up, in a theater that's kind of like halfway between us. So we might have to try to do that this summer.
Yeah, that would be fun. I was thinking the other day, I don't know what reminded me of it, but I remember when we went to see Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that was like maybe the last one we actually went to see. That might have been 2017, 2018. I can't remember when that release was, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and hop into this. As Tony said, this is called screening, streaming, or steaming. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk through all the movies that's going to be coming out. The big movies going to be coming out this summer. Each of us are going to say, hey, this is something I want to see in the theater, want to screen it. I'm going to wait and just watch on Netflix or something. I'll stream it or buy. I have no interest at all. It's a steaming pile of poo. And we'll just go ahead and kick this thing off. And it's a big one, y'all. It's a big one. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Some of these I'll do a synopsis. There's no need to do a synopsis on this one, as this is the third and potentially final, since James Gunn has now moved on to the DCEU. But okay, so we're going to start with basically the way the draft order will be, and we'll just kind of give our opinion, and then I'll rotate around those. So Chris, thoughts on Guardians?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, everybody's back. it's going to be heartfelt because even in the trailer they say it's a time for their final run. There's been a lot of speculation online because all the posters have like a tear in Rocket's eyes. Like everybody's like, if you kill off Rocket, I will never forgive Marvel. I don't think they're going to do it, but there's speculation. But this is going to be interesting because it's opening up the rest of kind of the quote unquote cosmic portion of Marvel, which is going to be expanded in the Marvels with Captain Marvel and so on and so forth. But also the introduction of Adam Warlock. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be kind of passing the baton to whatever phase we're in now. I think it looks great. I think it's always fun. Guardians has always been fun. Phase 5 now. We're in phase 5 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever phase we're in. I mean, do I go ahead and give my screening?
Sure. Yes.
Oh, has it been a while since you've done this?
It's been a little while since I've done this.
I don't think this one's going to be much of a surprise to anybody.
Not much of a surprise screen. I want to screen this. I want to see this on the big screen. Yeah.
I've already bought tickets for opening day. I will be there on Thursday night, and the Guardians series is one of my favorite of all the Marvel. I just think those characters are great. Chris, I worry too. Somebody's not going to make it. If it's not Rocket, I fear somebody's not going to come out of this, and I would just have to have a tissue with me because it's going to be tough to see. For me, it's going to be screening. Dan, you're up.
Yeah, so it's obviously going to be screening as well. I mean, I'm hoping to get there. We're going to actually be out of town for a hockey tournament that weekend, but I'm hoping that there is a little bit of time on that weekend to go watch it. I really don't want them to kill anybody. I have a feeling that we might see an ancillary character, die. Like maybe we get Kraglin or somebody like that, because they're good at, making you give you the feels for some of those. But we're also going to see a lot of the other Reavers, I think. I've had to stop watching trailers. I don't want to know anything else about this movie because there's every second there's another trailer. Like when you're watching a YouTube video, there's another trailer. I just don't want to see anything. I don't want to be spoiled because it's so funny. Like everything I've seen already has already been funny. I don't want to see anything else. And I like to speculate. I want to see do we get somebody that we don't really expect? Like, because you're getting Adam Warlock. Are we going to get maybe Nova or somebody else like that? A really cool surprise. So I'm really hoping that it'll be something like that. But I'm with you guys. Don't kill anybody. Just don't.
Tony?
All right. So for me, it's going to be streaming. I didn't care for number 2.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm not sure number 3 is going to pull me in. I enjoyed number 1 immensely. Don't get me wrong. Number 2, didn't really care for it. So number 3, I'm like, okay, I'm past this. I'm done with it. I've enjoyed, seeing bits and parts in the other movies. But right now, hey, I don't need to go out to the theater to watch this when I know it will be on TBS or whatever, FX, and within a month.
It won't.
No,
I know it won't be on
then,
but
you'll have to get
Max Disney Plus
or Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. And that right there, Disney Plus, I have it. So why do I need to go out when I have this 80-inch TV screen or whatever size I'm going to get to watch this? I don't need to.
I'm really curious, y'all, if Tony will have a screening of any movie. So this will be fun.
So let's preface that by saying a movie I would like to screen versus what I will actually do.
Actually screen.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So moving on. It's right on the heels is another big one. May 19th, the 10th Fast and Furious film. If I don't need to go over a synopsis of that, it's Vin Diesel's back. And wait a minute, there was somebody else that was in it.
Momoa.
Who's the bad guy?
Momoa.
Jason
yes,
Momoa.
Jason Momoa. That's it. That's who the villain is. So I'm kicking this one off. Okay, here's the thing. I've only watched maybe 2 Fast and Furious. I just never really got into the. I know it's horrible. I would probably like them all. I just never got into the series. They were just coming too quick. I couldn't keep up with them. So for me, I don't even know if I'll ever watch this when it streams because I feel like I need to watch the other 9 to catch up. So to be honest, it's going to be steaming for me, not because I think it's bad, just because I haven't invested in the other 8 is the thing.
But then that's almost like it's almost like a streaming, because I feel like steaming means that you just have no interest in it. You have interest in it, you just don't have
fair.
Because we always,
that's fair.
in the past, we've always kind of said if we had unlimited money and unlimited time, what would we want to do? So so I'm with you too, Marty. I'm the same way. So to me, and it's funny because I wrote like a little something about every one of these trailers, every one of these movies. And what I wrote down here for this one is I can't decide if this is just Expendables with cars now. We're just getting more and more extra stars just to be in these movies, because now we got more. And don't get me wrong, I loved the first few movies. I just never got around to it. I think I watched 6 or 7 or what. I can't figure out what's 6, what's 5. It's almost like all the Rocky movies. What number is what? Like after the first 4, I'm lost. But I'll give it a streaming. I have really no interest in wasting time going to see this in the movie theater. There's the other things I'd want to see, but I would be happy to watch this on a Saturday night streaming. So I'm going to give it a streaming.
So then change mine to streaming because you're right. That I was being a little too harsh, and Dan explained how this really should be done. Tony.
I would go with streaming, though I have never seen a single one of these movies.
Oh.
So, but wow. I know, amazing. I mean, it's not like they haven't been on all the time either, but to
exactly.
Marty's point, I don't think, I feel like I at least need to know some of the characters, but what gives me the want to see this is Momoa, right? He to me, he's the new Rock. And I know they're similar, have the charisma. Mm-hmm. He can draw me into that. It's just from that standpoint.
You just think he's hot.
Hey, Chris, have we ever has Lucas Black come back yet on any of these movies? He has?
Last movie.
Okay, that's what I think that was the thing we were predicting was going to happen in the last one.
Yeah. He was in it for a hot minute, but he came back.
Okay.
All right.
And finally, Chris.
Well, not surprising, this is screening for me because I have never missed a single Fast movie in the theater. It is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and what's funny about this one too is that weirdly enough, Logan, my girlfriend, she surprised me. She's a Fast fan, even though she hasn't gone to the theater to see many of them. But whenever there's one on, she gets sucked into it and she'll watch it. But she's reticent to go back to the theaters, at least on for big blockbusters, because a ton of people still, she's a healthcare provider, so she has to be careful about being around crowds. But as soon as we saw that trailer and Jason Momoa was in it, I says, I bet I'm going to get you to the theater now. Because she is all about Momoa. I'm looking forward to this one. I love the Fast franchise. It is completely ridiculous and over the top, but it's definitely screening for me.
All right, May 26th, another live-action Disney film, but live action of a popular animated film. We got The Little Mermaid coming, and the trailer's been all over the place. You've probably seen it. And first up is Dan.
So this one is interesting because when I heard they were doing a live action Little Mermaid, I was thinking steaming. But the more I watch these trailers, I'll stream this one because I'm not sure if I'm all in on a live action Disney right now, but the idea of a live action Lilo and Stitch really has me intrigued. So I really looking forward to that. But I mean, again, everybody does a really good job with their part from what I saw in the trailer. So it's not enough to get me. My wife and my daughter will probably go to the theater, but I'll stream this one though when it comes out.
Tony.
All right. So for me, this is going to be steaming. I do not like Disney live action films at all. I don't like them. I've only watched one of them, and that was Beauty and the Beast. And I think that alone just said, that's it. I'm done with them. Give me the cartoons. That's really all I want. So this is a pure steaming one for me. Chris?
I'm with you. Steaming for me. I have no interest in seeing the live action anything from Disney as far as like the remakes. It just doesn't appeal to me. I see it on screen and it just doesn't hold any appeal. I do think that the cast in this is going to be pretty good. But
that's fair.
I have no interest in seeing it whatsoever.
Yeah, the lead, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but she's got a wonderful voice. As long as it's not
Halle Bailey. I always want to say Halle Berry,
but it's not. It's Halle something. Yeah,
Halle Bailey.
And I know sometimes they have different people that do the singing, but I think it's actually her, and she has a wonderful voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's Ursula?
It is
Megan.
No, not Megan.
No.
Everybody's picturing her from Ghostbusters. One of the characters, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, McCarthy.
Mary
Megan
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Is it Mary?
Megan McCarthy.
It's a McCarthy person.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. Why am I blanking on Melissa McCarthy's name?
How long do I let him go?
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like you, Tony. The only live action I ever saw was Beauty and the Beast, and I just have no interest in the live action. The Lion King was really more CGI than anything, and Pinocchio tanked last year. So steaming for me also. All right, moving on. Now, this is one Tony added to the list I had never heard of. So I had to go and watch the trailer for The Machine. So I am going to give a little synopsis on this one. It's about a character, Bert, who rose to fame as a stand-up comedian known as The Machine, And in his signature set, he recounts his true experience with Russian mobsters while on a booze-soaked college trip. Now, 23 years later, that trip has come back to haunt him as he and his estranged father, played by Mark Hamill, are kidnapped back to Russia by the mob to atone for something that they did. So I guess it's a comedy?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
This is going to be one of those crazy comedies, you know.
Yeah, is this like a Hangover comedy or something along those lines?
Tony, you're the one that put it on the list, and you're the first.
Yeah, it'll be like The Hangover or like anything that Zach Galifianakis and the other who's the other Zach Efron. You know, he's done a lot of those raunchy comedies. It'll be like that. I mean, this is. And I don't mean to jump the gun, but this is beautifully crazy in every sense of the force. I mean, it's unbelievable how great it is. You didn't see what I did? Nobody got my pun there?
Ever since the force with Mark Hamill,
I just let it go.
I'm not
good with puns, so whenever I do get one, I want to, you know.
You want to acknowledge it. Okay.
All right. So for me, I put it on the list just because Mark Hamill and the trailer made me laugh. And I'm like, okay, we got to talk about this because it's got Mark Hamill in it. Mm-hmm. And I find, just some of his characters are just so good. But I will be streaming this. I will not be wasting my money. But I do want to see it. I think it is going to be crazy. And I think it will be one of those guilty pleasures for me. There's no way my wife is going to watch this with me. No way. So this is one that I will just stream one time and just enjoy and laugh about it. It kind of reminds me of, and not in the same vein, but my guilty pleasure with Happy Gilmore. So definitely streaming for me. So back over to Chris.
So this one I had not heard of until I watched the trailer, but I'm familiar with Bert Kreischer. I know him as in stand-up, but that backstory was totally lost to me. But it's supposedly true, and so it's very meta. It's them going back and revisiting this story he keeps telling. So it reminds me a little bit of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which was Nick Cage last year. I don't know if any of y'all ever saw that. Yeah, great movie. Weird. But also, just a kind of a farce and a send up. And I think this is the same vein. It's probably not going to be as good as that one, but streaming for me, I think it's interesting enough to watch.
Yeah, that was the same way. After I saw the trailer, I like Mark Hamill. It looked kind of funny. So it's probably raunchy, which means my wife will not watch it. So when she's out of the house or something, I may stream it also.
Yeah, I would certainly stream this one because I had seen this Red Band trailer at some point. Every couple of months I go down this usual YouTube rabbit hole of watching all sorts of trailers and hoping that they're not fake, but watching some of these funny ones that you've never heard of, or sometimes you can find these good compilations of trailers that somebody will put together and they're great, but it looks funny enough. And I'm sure it's one of those stories where like at this point, maybe 30% of it is true, and the rest of it is just grown over time,
Yeah.
But it does look funny, and Mark Hamill
just make me laugh. Just make me laugh.
Mark,
please.
But the thing is, like when Mark Hamill is doing like a caricature of himself and doing what you wouldn't expect him to do, I think that's what made him. What was it? Jay and Silent Bob he was in. I think that's what made that really. Yeah, exactly. So I'll stream this one.
I can't see the right word on this podcast, but anyway.
No.
Yeah. You're talking about being 30% true. Just a side note. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching Tetris, the movie on Apple TV. A really good documentary on how that game came to be. It is highly dramatized. I don't know if you know the history of this. It was invented by a Russian during the Cold War. He couldn't license it himself, and there was a big fight to get the license, but the government was involved and stuff. Worth watching if you have Apple TV, but after you watch it, go watch the documentary on the YouTube channel Gaming Historian, who gives the accurate representation of the story, but it's really good. All right, moving on. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and we're back up to Chris.
So this is interesting for me because of the guidelines we're supposed to say if we had unlimited time, unlimited money to watch something. I fortunately will be in Greece when this comes out. Nice. I'm not going to be going opening weekend. I'm not sure I'll get to see it in the theater because of some things that are following up here when I get back from Greece. However, if I had again, unlimited time, unlimited money, I would screen it for sure. Because the
Isn't it
first
Greece's economy in a
fantastic.
tank? It'll probably cost you like €1 to go see it.
If it's released there and while we're there, yeah. Well, I'm not going to spend my time in Greece at the theater. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, I mean, if the first one was fantastic, it would be screening for me.
Yeah. First one is one of my all-time favorite superhero movies. I just absolutely fell in love with it the first time I saw it. The music was great. The animation was great. So for sure, it is a screening for me. I can't wait to see it. I hope with the trailers, they've shown a lot of Spider-Man. I hope that's just kind of a small thing because I'd really rather focus on a few like they did in the first one and not like
I'm sure they
20 of them. But yeah, it's a screening.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Marty. It's screening for me, but I really hope that they work in some story and it's not all Easter egg watching because that trailer is one Easter egg after another.
Absolutely.
I hope that's just to get people in, and I hope the story and the heart really shines through because the trailer's really funny and they do a really good job and they kind of give you a little bit of this story, but I really hope it's as good as the first one because, boy, you talk about biggest surprise of the year. How good that first one was just blew my mind. So this is definitely screening for me.
All right. So on my side of it now, I'll admit the first one, when I went and watched it at the theater, I had a massive headache. I've never had a series of, I don't want to say, the seizures or anything like that.
No, but it's the flashes of light. And all that
It's
stuff.
very frenetic. Yeah.
And it just tore me up. Now, when I was at home and I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot more. So with that in mind, and the fact that they did that to me in the first one, I'm going to have to stream it because I am not going to take the chance to go in there and, go out, seizuring somehow. But
Yeah, you can take breaks then watching streaming and you can take your time.
Exactly. But I didn't have any issues when I was watching it on the TV. But then again, I didn't have the flashes and all that. And also it was a smaller screen.
Right.
So for me,
well, and this is one where I bet you they put it on, what is that, the new Screen X? Have you guys seen any movies with that now?
Not yet.
So I saw the Batman was in that Screen X where they're kind of put things on the side where like you're not missing anything if it's not there, but it's really immersive with it being in there. So it was, I bet you this will have that extra or that option.
I'm actually, I don't know if I remember it or not watching Into the Spider-Verse when I streamed it. I didn't go to the theater to see it. I had to stream it afterwards. But did they put an epileptic warning in front of the movie or anything?
I believe
Probably.
a lot of movies do that now anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And even with, they put it in front of there if there's the slightest bit of flashing.
Yep.
And that was a lot of flashing.
Yeah. It threw me off. I've never had that. I've never had issues with any video games or any movies I've ever watched. I was like, what the heck is going on with me? I was like, okay, fine. But loved the movie. I thought it was fun the second time I watched it.
Well, Tony, where should we start?
On which
You
one?
asked what was wrong with you.
What's
That's
wrong
why I
with
said, where should we start?
the list is long. This is a short video cast. If you
Long
want to
and
go,
distinguished. Like my Johnson. What was the movie line? What was that from?
The list is, I think, isn't that from Top Gun?
Is it
The list is long and distinguished,
Long
like
and
Mike
distinguished.
Johnson.
Like much, yes. Thank you, because that was going to kill me. All right, Maverick was amazing last year, by the way.
Oh, so good.
All right, so June 9th. I mean, just like there's been like 10 Fast and Furious, the Transformer movie series is back with Tony is typing over the thing. Rise of the Beast. And I'm supposed to go first, but I'm going to skip and let Dan go first, who is, if you've watched any of our old stuff and the Transformer movies come up, this is where Dan just geeks out. So, Dan, go.
Oh my God, I love Transformers so much, and just about anything out there. I think only one of the original ones I did not like at all, and I think it was probably that second one, I think is what it was. But this is actually one where I think they should be doing this. I think they learned their lesson where people want how Bumblebee turned out a couple years ago, and they want to go with that. However, this isn't going to be just, a little bit of heart. This is going to be a little bit more bombastic and a lot of Transformers everywhere. I just can't get enough Transformers. And this is arguably one of the best thematic genres of the Transformers. If you're following me there, because Transformers is branched out, but kind of the Beast Wars.
Beast Wars side, yeah.
Yeah, is one of people's most popular thing. And I really hope this is good. I mean, obviously it's going to be screening, and I can't wait to take the fam to go watch this one. I really hope it's good.
all right, circle
But
back.
I'll like it anyway, but I hope it's good.
Marty?
Okay, yeah, we'll jump back to me. So here's the thing. I usually give Dan a lot of crap For Transformers, I thought after the second one, it was like after the first one just wasn't very good.
You didn't even like the first one?
No, I did after the first one.
Oh, after the first one. Okay, that's fair.
Bumblebee, I absolutely loved. That's probably my favorite Transformer movies of them all. It was so well done. Michael Bay is not writing or directing this, which means my expectations are a lot higher. He's only producing. My wife is super excited about this. So for the first time, I think maybe since one in Bumblebee, I will be in the theater watching this movie screening.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
You sell out.
It looks good, man. I mean, I don't know. I hope the story is good, but Bumblebee put me. It's like okay, there's good stories to be told in this universe.
Yeah, Bumblebee was great.
Okay. All right, so over to me. Steaming. I'm done with this. Oh my gosh! Please, a gorilla? What does it change into? A gorilla changes into a gorilla?
Oh, that's actually a great question. I don't know. What does
he changes into a robot?
Well, they change into a robot. They go from robots to animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it makes perfect sense.
So it does make, so that's a good question. What are we getting? A robot into a robot almost. A gorilla into a gorilla.
I mean, I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, okay, so I enjoyed, I think I've seen maybe 2 of the Transformers or at least half of one of them. And I'm like, okay, I can sort of kind of get into this. And then I'm like, Optimus, I'm not your enemy, or whatever the trailer, the gorilla said to him. And you're like, okay, now what? Now we got a cheetah. Now, where are all these people? Why are we not seeing this? Why are we not seeing this in real life? That's what I want to know. So, yeah, this is steaming. Chris?
I'm torn. I want to say steaming, but
it's not hard. Trust me. You just
I
say
know.
it.
Chris won't say steaming. You can't say steaming.
I can't, because if I late at night and I'm bored, I'm like, this is streaming. I'll watch it. Why not? It's the concept of the beasts and the Beast Wars is ridiculous to me, but at the same time, we also love the Dinobots and the Insecticons. So all that stuff came beforehand. So I can't say it's totally ridiculous. I will stream it for one reason, and that is old school jazz.
Yep.
See jazz in the trailer? I'm like, yep, all right. I
don't even think that's jazz. I think
it's
that's
not jazz.
No, it's,
I'm out then.
It's Mirage. It's Mirage. I think, or something like that.
I'm out.
But I don't think it's old school jazz.
I wish we couldn't have old school. We don't have Scatman Crothers anymore, so it's fine.
That's true. Anyway, and it's also when you're talking about voices. So what I'm also upset about is it's not what's his name? It's not Peter Cullen is not Optimus Primal.
Oh yeah, really?
It's actually Ron Perlman. Because I think Peter Cullen and I think the guy that did Megatron 2, both of those guys, their voices have just had it for all this.
They've
all
done
this
so
time.
much work over the years. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And the guy that did Megatron, he does voices for everything. Oh, I guess you know what, Peter Cullen is listed in here as Optimus Prime, so I guess he'll still have, because he's not Optimus Primal. He's Optimus Prime. Yeah, I don't even want to get into the story. It's probably going to make it sound even worse. But I can't wait to see it anyway.
Please, just move on.
All right. We're going to move on because on June 16th, remember, we're all friends here, and all opinions are respected and valued. The Flash is coming out.
Run, Barry, run.
With Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. And since Dan kicked off that last one, Tony, you get to go first on this one.
Oh, this is steaming. I watched
steaming.
Okay. Steaming. I have no desire. After I watched that trailer, I'm like, I don't know what they're doing or who they're doing or what I know that didn't sound right, but I don't care. Flash is one of my favorite DC characters. But I have no desire to do this time traveling, space jumping, warping stuff. I don't understand what they're doing.
You just described Flash's whole character.
That is Flash.
That's Flash.
I'm like, what is he? Why can't he just run fast?
Don't you remember in the old school comics when Barry had the treadmill and could run, travel through time?
Yep.
No.
What? Dude, that's 70s, 80s stuff, man.
Dude, I remember from the Justice Friends. No, he wasn't in there. What am I saying?
He was in Super Friends.
He's in Super Friends.
Super Friends? No.
Was he not in Super Friends?
No.
Wonder Power.
Batman, Robin, Wonder Woman, Superman,
Aquaman.
and Aquaman. That's it.
Yeah,
and Wonder Twins.
Oh, the one
which
that's-
one?
They never
Tony?
have a Green Lantern part of. Well, they had an expanded Super Friends universe in like the second season or some of them because they remember they had Apache Chief and some of those
Yeah.
others.
That's
so,
Yeah. When the Legion of
But he
Doom
wasn't.
came in.
But I guess maybe he wasn't part of the original Super Friends.
Right. All right, so Chris, this is steaming.
This
All
is
right.
make fun of Dan for 30 minutes. These two, Marty put them right back to back for a reason.
What, me? Dude, I'm screening this thing. Are you kidding? I mean, it's The Flash. You don't think I'm going to go see a Flash movie? I don't care who's starring it. First of all, it's Flashpoint. I'm going to watch anything you do with Flashpoint. Second of all, they brought Michael Keaton back. And the trailer, I don't care. It looks dark. It looks bleak. There's all kinds of things. But if the end of the trailer says, "Run, Barry, run." It's all you got to say. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller. I think he did okay in the Justice League. I would much rather see Grant Gustin. I'd rather watch him day and night.
He's so good.
I
He's
wish
so
they
good.
had brought him in for this,
Yep.
and I wish they'd had a crossover with him doing this too. But just for sheer Flash alone, I will screen it.
So it's to me. So dang it. I'm with you, Chris, 100%. I think Ezra Miller in real life has turned out to be a very horrible person. I did not want to support this guy. But two things. Michael Keaton, it worked. I want to see him with a suit again. And freaking Flashpoint is an amazing story. Please don't screw this story up.
Absolutely.
And did you ever see the animated movie of Flashpoint?
I was just
Yeah.
going to bring that up, that if you
It's
really want to
good.
see a good
It
Flashpoint
is.
story, it's amazing.
Yes.
It is the definitive Flashpoint, and I don't expect it to be as good as that. So with all that in mind, I will be screening. Yes, 100%.
So I'm obviously going to screen it too. I'm surprised 3 out of 4. I used to keep track of everything, and we would add them up at the end, but I haven't been doing that for this
Tony's
one.
doing it.
Oh, Tony's doing it? Excellent.
Oh, good. All right.
So I'm obviously going to screen this one because I am a DC junkie no matter what. And I do love The Flash too. I just don't know if this is going to be a story that I'm going to be into, but if you think about it, this is what James Gunn said is going to reboot the universe. So there's something to look forward to. And I think once he reboots the universe, we might even get some of these, we might get some Easter egg characters from, as they're rebooting or as they're going through time with the whole Flashpoint thing, you may see some other cool things coming in, characters maybe you didn't think of, or maybe that's how they'll bring some of these other characters in. I really hope that we're getting some stuff that we don't expect. And then maybe Michael Keaton will stick around as the old grizzled Batman just for some future movies, or maybe he's got to make the ultimate sacrifice. Whatever. The story looks interesting to me. I just really want to see it just to see what they're going to do to the universe and see what we can bring. Cause, and of course, Supergirl looks very cool in there as well, or Superwoman. I don't know which one of the, alternate worlds that they're going to bring
All
in.
they said was Kara.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And again, I agree. We could do better than Ezra.
Better than Ezra.
Yeah, I didn't actually do that on purpose, but we
Nice.
could do better than Ezra.
Well played. Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah, they're not a great person, so I want to see a recast if we can. Grant Gustin was great as the Flash, and even though that series, even after a while, kind of got a little long in the tooth, and the first
Well,
5
it
seasons
was
or so.
Yeah, it was what, 9? It was 9.
No, it's up.
seasons.
No, I'm saying after the first 5, I kind of lost
Oh, the
interest.
first 5. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
well,
I mean,
the
and I
CW
had-
can only keep it going for so long. So,
Yeah. Because I think they're on 8 or 9 now, and this is the last one.
I think the 9th. This is the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be cool is if they have Grant somewhere in the movie.
Yeah,
Which
I
would
hope they do.
springboard
I really do.
into using him later on. And to be honest with you, I love the idea of Michael Keaton come back. I would love for him to come back in the Batman Beyond story.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
He'd be perfect in that. All right.
But is he
next
playing?
up-
So let me ask you this, Marty. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. So is he playing Bruce Wayne, or is I think in Flashpoint, Bruce is dead and it's his dad that's
Correct.
That's the Batman.
Oh, that's a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it could be the dad?
It could be.
It could be.
So-
What y'all are talking about? Just woo! I don't know anything about Flashpoint.
So in
Once
in
again,
Flashpoint,
don't care.
Tony, it was
care.
it was
Don't
Bruce
care.
that died,
Mhm.
and basically in an alternate universe, it was his dad that became Batman. All right, next is usually a Disney Pixar animated movie every year, and this year is no different. On June 16th, we have Elemental, which looks like it's a almost a Romeo and Juliet, where two different types of characters shouldn't be getting together, and they are. And I'll just leave it at that. And I guess Chris is back up.
Oh, I'm back up. This looks cute. I mean, I love Pixar. I think Pixar does a great job. I've been a little reticent about getting to Pixar movies in the theater recently. I don't have kids, so if I'm going to watch it, it's going to be simply for me. And I'm a huge fan of like Toy Story and Incredibles and things like that. I think they've done a fantastic job. This looks good. I mean, it looks fun. It's fire and ice getting together, and they have a forbidden love, kind of a budding love of it. For me, I wouldn't screen this. It's just not practical, and also I don't think that given unlimited time, unlimited money, I probably would screen it, but I would definitely stream it because I mean I have Disney Plus, so it'll be on Disney Plus for me. But it looks like it would be entertaining. It's Pixar.
Yep. Okay, so it's back to me. So this is weird. Pixar has not been doing well lately. Lightyear did horrible. Strange World did even more horrible. And now they're freaking out and they're going, oh, we got to do a Toy Story 5. I mean, they're basically trying to bring back the stuff that's really popular.
Did you like Lightyear, though?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it either. I was going to use you as the as my should I watch it?
I just after I saw the reviews, it's like I didn't have any interest. This is why I'm stuck on this one because it looks cute. At the best, it'll be streaming, but I'll be positive. I'll say streaming when it's on Disney Plus. I'll check it out. But it's one of those things that if I'm sitting there and I have nothing else to watch, I may pull it up. That's where here's the thing is, Illumination is just blew up with Mario and did y'all see Puss in Boots?
No, but I heard it was excellent.
I heard it was good. Yeah.
If you have not, please watch Puss in Boots. One of the best animated movies I've seen in a while. There's other studios that are bypassing Pixar at this point. So streaming at the best for me.
So I'm sure it'll be funny, and I'm sure it'll be West Side Story or Romeo and Juliet, but I just don't care. Steaming. This is my first steaming of the night, but
wow.
I just don't care. I don't know why. It just didn't grab me. I'd rather watch Coco for the 800th time.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Yeah.
I cry every time, by the way, in Coco. Every time.
So here I think they added a love story on top of what was it? Inside the emotional one. It was
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
Inside Out. And they're saying, oh, let's put an emotional one, but not do a whole lot of writing and just put a little touchy-feely stuff here. And I'm like, I got no interest in this. This is pure steaming from them. What am I going to see here? I think I saw the funniest thing when they walked through the fence. Why do we even have these here? That was probably
actually pretty funny. Sight gag.
Yeah, sight gag. And I was just like, this is steaming. I don't need to see this.
All right. The next one may have some discussions too. On June 30th, we have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Harrison Ford is returning. I get to go first on this one. If I saw the credits of this movie and it included the likes of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, I would be super freaking excited. But it does not. However, it does have James Mangold, who did Logan, which is my favorite all-time superhero movie of all time. He did Ford versus Ferrari, which is really good. So I think the director's in good hands. The problem is the story. I just don't know if I can buy an 80-year-old Indiana Jones at this point. I will be in the theater, but with low expectations. So screening with low expectations.
So I have gone back and forth on this one quite a bit for the same reasons, Marty. Like I just don't have a lot of believability here. But from watching Shrinking and just falling in love with Harrison Ford again, that show is so good. And it's funny now because you used to only see Han Solo when you saw him, or you used to only see Indiana Jones. Indeed. Now I only see whatever his name is from whatever his character is from Shrinking, because that show is so good. So that's kind of got me back in for screening. We've been waiting for a good Indiana Jones movie forever. Just don't suck. That's all we ask. Don't suck.
So you're screening?
Yeah, I'm screening.
All right. Oh, by the way, I tried to watch Shrinking. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, Shrinking.
After like 4 episodes, I was too freaking depressed. Does it ever get to feel good? Because
yes, it does.
I just didn't. Yes. It's not Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso was a feel good, and this is a depressing show.
I actually felt like this one is almost more feel good because you love every single character in Shrinking by the time, actually probably you give it one more episode and all of a sudden everything just takes off. Like, everybody just has a good angle on it. And it's just, Yeah,
it was just the guy was getting constantly beat down, and I was tired of seeing it. All right, it was a tangent.
yeah. It's
Okay,
interesting because
sorry.
you got to get past. It's a good character growth because he's got to get past that. So
Okay.
you're almost like with him, and then when he gets past it, it's everything else. It's so good.
Okay,
By far the best thing since Ted Lasso, in my opinion.
In your opinion. Okay. So for me, this will be my first screening.
wow, it took a Indiana Jones movie to do it.
And there's only two reasons why. One, I'm interested in this story. And I know I was bashing Flash for time travel, but yet here, I don't have a problem with it. And I've
What
yet to see
time
a trailer-
travel?
Well, isn't that what this is about? Him going back and changing things?
I think it's flashbacks.
It's the dial of destiny. So I was thinking that he was somehow.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
They've
It's
got
a
the
mystery.
Your
script under
segment, I'll
wraps.
shut up.
They got the
If
scripts under
if they
wraps.
pull that off, that'll be amazing. If they pull off a time travel with Indiana Jones, that would be amazing.
Go ahead.
Or
They pull
maybe
off
it's,
aliens, but
maybe it's his subconscious. Yeah, that's the other reason. There's no LaBouffe in this one, is there?
no,
No,
it's
No.
now his
Then-
goddaughter.
Oh, then okay, that'll let me go to the theater because if there was a LaBouffe in there, there's no way I would go
Just
see
do
that.
it.
Yeah, please, Chris.
Indy's my favorite on-screen hero of all time. Raiders is my number one movie of all time. Duh, I'm going to screen this one. Now, will I be disappointed? I hope not, but I will say, just like you said, Mangold being in charge, the cast is fantastic. I mean, we got Mads Mikkelsen coming in as the bad guy.
Yeah.
We got Phoebe Waller-Bridge coming in. She's fantastic. Like, it has the pedigree to be really good. Now, yes, we're dealing with a really, really old Indy, but it's Indy. So, yeah, 100% I'm in my butt is in the theater no matter what. Day one.
Mickelson is one of the best, creepy guys. He could play a villain. He could play so many different things. And I'm guessing because he just looks like he would be a Nazi, leader from that time period. He just has that. He can morph into so many different things that he's such a good bad guy. We should do that as a draft one day.
So that's our first all four screening. Very impressive. All right, moving on. July 14th, we have part 1 of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. And first up is Chris.
Oh, it's back
No,
to
I'm
me
sorry.
again?
It's Dan.
Oh, no.
Dan, I'm sorry.
Oh, is it me? Okay.
Dan,
Yeah.
sorry.
So when you have a problem telling if a trailer is real, your franchise might be around too long. So I love Cruise. I love Simon Pegg. I just don't know if I care, but I want to care, but I just don't. And this is steaming.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I feel so bad. I love so many characters in this, but I just don't care.
Got it.
Dang, dude, really? After 20 minutes of how they did that one stunt with the motorcycle that was released on YouTube, you're going to go there?
But it's like every story's the same. Oh, you've been disavowed. Here we go. We got to go do this. I mean, I know that's what Mission Impossible is, but what is it? Is this did we say is this number 7? What number is this?
I think
And it's a
7.
2-parter? That's
It's a
even worse.
two-parter. I know, it's crazy. I couldn't believe it was a 2-parter. I thought it was just the thing. And when it said part 1, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
They shot 2 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
And so basically,
Because
what they're
Tom
telling-
Cruise is finally getting old.
Yeah.
yeah, he has to
He's
recover from all
he is
his
an
stunts.
alien. He is not getting old at all.
No, he's not.
Well,
Him and Paul Rudd are from the same planet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stream this because one, by the time the next one comes out, who knows where things will be. So yeah, I'll just catch it on the TV when it streams. I'm not going to try to make it to the theater, even with that incredible stunt. I don't think there's a necessary for me to go see all the visuals in the theater for Mission Impossible, like the previous episode. So yes, I am streaming this one, not steaming it. Chris,
This one will be on that Screen X, no doubt about it. They've definitely got to do
I'm
that
sure.
wide for everything.
Absolutely.
so this screen is this like my curved Samsung TV?
Sorta.
Sorta.
Sort of. Okay,
Yeah.
I got one of those. Okay,
Well, brag a little, why don't you?
it's old,
And
like
it's
me.
80 inches too.
No, that's the one upstairs. That's going to be the one upstairs.
I'm staying at
Marty's
your
got-
house next time I'm in Charlotte.
Marty's got to explain to me the difference between QLED and OLED, so I decide which one to buy.
For me, this one's streaming. I haven't seen Mission Impossible since 3 in the theaters. I mean, I enjoy streaming. I thought the last one was pretty good, but that's mostly because Henry Cavill was in it. It was enjoyable. No, I'm not going to the theater to see this. And I love Haley Atwell, by the way. She's fantastic.
Oh, she's in it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I'm seeing it twice.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess I'm going to be the only one screening because I freaking loved the last Mission Impossible movie. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Of course, Henry Cavill in it, which was
was that the one with Superman
amazing.
in it?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And I think Tom Cruise is so stinking dedicated to making entertaining movies that I want to, just like with Top Gun Maverick, he just wanted to make an entertaining movie and he was rewarded for it. So I will have my butt in the seat probably day one. I just love that series so much. And he's so good at what he does. And the fact that he does all of his stuff himself, it just impresses me so much. Just like Keanu Reeves. That's what I loved about the John Wick series. He's so dedicated and does everything himself.
Speaking of another person doing his age.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a fun one.
Here's a good one.
July 21st. Barbie, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken. Who's first? Oh, it's Tony's first on this one.
Okay. So whenever I hear Margot Robbie's name, I immediately go to The Big Short and her scene in that, where only she could explain that technical stuff to me while sitting in, what was it, a bubble bath or something? I don't remember. It was hilarious how they did that.
I hope your mind then wanders to the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah.
Truth be known, I've only seen parts of that. So I've never seen all of it. So I've forgotten she was in that. Barbie. So let's get back on task here. Steaming. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't have any desire.
I'm not even sure you need to apologize for that.
Okay.
No
I want to give it
apology.
I know no steaming, Tony, Chris.
I don't know what to make of this movie. When they first announced it, I was like, what is happening here? How did they get these two huge actors to be in this movie? So either, number one, they paid them a lot of money, or number two, it's actually got a good script. I don't know which one. The trailers are interesting. The concept is interesting.
Did you wonder if the announcement came out on April 1st is when it first came out?
Yeah.
You're like, wait, you have to check the calendar. Wait, is today April 1st? It was a long time
ago, but yeah, you're like, is this real? Is this a real thing? I don't know how to answer this, because honestly, if I was like trapped in a hotel room somewhere, I might watch it, but I'm probably gonna have to say steaming. I know I can't do it.
Oh, it's to me. Yeah, 100% steaming. I have zero interest in this. My eyes rolled so far back in my head when I saw this trailer. I'm like, oh, Margot, they must have paid you really well. So yeah, it doesn't even look appealing to me at all. Steaming, 100%.
There were some funny jokes in that trailer, but that's probably about it. Like, so if you remember with Margot Robbie, and I'll give you Tony, I'll give you another great part with Margot Robbie. The first few minutes of Birds of Prey was one of the best things ever, with her wanting a New York deli baked breakfast sandwich. Yes. Yeah. And I can tell you that little bit of your memory of that part of that movie is probably better than all of Barbie is going to be. And it's
okay.
That thought of it will probably be better than everything. So this is absolutely steaming. I'll have to stumble upon this on TBS in 3 years from now to see a couple of the jokes. We probably won't even remember it. And I bet you it'll still make a lot of money somehow, but steaming.
Barbie.
Yes.
So my question is, which would be better than you think, Barbie or Sausage Party? Remember that one that we talked about?
Oh, if you made me sit in front of one of those two, did you pick that one? I think
that was my dark horse pick that year.
Yeah. I would sit in front of Barbie before, because at least,
I regret that pick so much.
Because at least you get to look at Margot Robbie for an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's our first all four steaming, by the way. So.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Oh my head.
Okay. July 21st. Christopher Nolan is back with the movie Oppenheimer, with physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, works to develop the atomic bomb. And it is who
Me?
went first last time?
I did. So this is
Okay,
Chris.
so it's Chris.
It's me. First of all, I love Christopher Nolan. There has rarely been a Christopher Nolan film that I have not seen in the theater. So I'll throw that out there.
In fact, he just left the theater a few minutes ago from watching Tenet because it was that long.
Yeah. Because it was, yeah, no, I actually seen Tenet 3 times. You have to watch it that many times to figure out what's going on. This one is much more less of his like twisty stuff. This is his more historical take on things, and the cast is fantastic. The trailer is gripping. Cillian Murphy just rocks it. Like you can just tell he studied Oppenheimer. He studies Mandarin. It even looks like him and how gaunt he is, his hair, everything like that. This is obviously, since I'm a huge history buff, especially retro Americana, this is big for me. This is again under the umbrella, if I had unlimited time, unlimited money, yes, I would screen this. I probably won't get to the theater to see it, but I would absolutely 100% screen this.
I love Christopher Nolan. I love Cillian Murphy. I love Dunkirk, so I really enjoy his historical takes on stuff. 100% be sitting in the theater seeing this one. I cannot wait to see it. It's one of my going to be my highlights of the summer, I think. Screening.
Oh, you brought up one, Marty, that I totally regret putting in a steaming pile, Dunkirk, because I think I put that in a steaming pile that year. So and then I watched the documentary on Dunkirk, and then I watched Dunkirk, and I was like, "Ooh, that was really good."
Yeah, that was that was my dark horse that year, and that did really good.
Yeah, it did really, really well. So Cillian Murphy might be one of the most underrated actors of our time. But I feel like if I'm going to watch this movie, I'm going to be yawning for 3 hours. I just don't care. Again, I just don't care. I love Christopher Nolan, but I'm just not into this one. So I may watch it in 4 years from now when nobody's home and I'm looking for something to stream on a Saturday night. But this is a steamer for me right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strong
Steam.
words there.
Oh man,
Steamer.
I typed.
Wow.
I typed in the wrong slot there. Holy cow! Was not
Yeah,
expecting.
I'm
that.
unusually pessimistic this year. I think that's 4 for me or something.
3. You're at 3. But I gotta get the right counts there. But for me, this is actually another one I would like to go see in the theater because I enjoy these kind of movies. So I have no clue who Cillian Murphy is. No clue.
Scarecrow.
Yes,
Scarecrow. Yeah.
and Batman.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
He's played
I
a lot of
appreciate-
things, but he's kind of known for that one.
And that at least I have seen that one.
Oh,
He was I think he was
Did you
the
see
villain in Red
Inception?
Eye.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Did you see Inception? He was the
he's-
one that was basically the
he's
one they
the
were trying to
trust fund kid.
get into. Their
Well,
hip
not
to
even a
get
trust
trained.
fund kid, but trying to get his father to.
Yep.
Wow.
Anyway, didn't say he loved him, but yeah.
Okay, so it just washes over me. So this is World War II. This is my genre. I love any movie on this. So I will want to see this in the theater. I hate a Miss Turing machine in the theater. Saw that streaming. So, but I would enjoy that as well. And as long as the old butt doesn't get numb, I should be okay with that. So yes, this is screening.
It'll be long.
Yeah.
All right, August 4th. Seth Rogen brings us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. I get to go first just because Seth Rogen's attached to it a big pile of steaming poo. I will not see this movie.
Wow.
Will not see it.
Oh my God.
I saw the trailer. It looks stupid. I didn't I didn't laugh. I didn't think it was cute. Nothing.
Wow.
I've watched this trailer at least 10 times. Ooze. Ooze.
It just sounds better.
No trailer made me like or want to see a movie more. It feels like the new Spider-Verse. This might be one of the hits of the summer, I think. I had no interest in seeing this movie, and somebody forced me to watch the trailer, and I couldn't believe how good I thought it was. The humor, just it's like a different, to me, I think it's because it's a different take on it almost is like what teenagers really would be like. Like they've always tried to do that. And they've always made them a little goofy, but no, this feels like Teenage Turtles, and they were hilarious, filming it on like their camera. Like I don't want to give away the trailer, but it was hilarious. I couldn't believe my eyes, and I think it's going to be great. I think I'm going to screen this one.
Wow. Okay. Very good then.
And traditionally, I'm not even really a big turtle guy, but
So I am a big turtle guy because I loved them in the 80s, enjoyed them, had them on my key ring, as we were going key rings, so I had all of them. I had Donatello, had the action figures. I'll admit it, and I was in college when I had all this crap sitting around. Therefore, you will not desecrate my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is steaming. You shall not. I will not let you. Therefore, I do not need to be exposed to this. Steamy.
Wow, I would have lost a bet on that. Man.
Ugh. Don't need it. Don't need it. I don't need them to be teenagers. I need them to be the 80s. That's what I want, and that's what they shall be.
Chris, you got to be with me on this one, I'm assuming.
Well, let's talk.
Oh, boy.
I'll just spoil it for a screen 100%.
Oh.
Because here, and I'll give you the reason why. So I am a huge turtle guy. Matter of fact, I bought the comics before the Turtles were turtles. That's how old school I am. They were dark, they were gritty, and let me tell you something, Tony. The 80s were not dark and gritty. They were exactly what they're trying to do with this film. They're making them kind of crazy and goofy, but they're actually going and making them. They're reinvigorating that feel you got from the 80s Turtles, but they're doing it in a new way. The frenetic animation for it. Mm-hmm. The fact that all the voices are teenagers, literal teenagers. Just the take on them, Donnie wearing glasses and Raph, of course, missing a tooth, all these different things. Like they're goofy. Yeah, it's going to be goofy, but it recaptured that trailer recaptured the joy that I had watching the 80s Turtles. I want them to do a Dark Turtles movie. I've been wanting them to do that for a long, long time. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'd like them to do the Ronin storyline at some point. But for now, recapturing that childlike wonder of watching the 80s Turtles, that was this trailer, and I'm 100% in the theater to see this.
So, did you guys enjoy the newer, because there was the more recent live action one? I think they made two of them.
No.
I really liked the first one of those two. I didn't see the second one, but there was just something about it that I thought was really good about that one too. But
no, I'm biased. I'll be honest with you, I'm biased. But Chris, was the original comics, were they black and white also? I can't remember. Mm-hmm. I thought so. Mm-hmm. And see, unfortunately at NC State, we did not have a comic book place nearby at the
really?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we did near the sub shop.
Yep, we did.
Yeah.
Darn it.
There had to have been a comic shop downtown Raleigh. Yep.
Yeah. So okay.
Those comic books are worth a lot of money now. You still got them, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Nice. And the last movie on our list, y'all, going to wrap this up here, from August 18th, from the DC universe, kind of a maybe a tier C.
It's probably C level. Probably C level. Well, you got to remember, so was Iron Man back in the day.
That's true. We have Blue Beetle coming to the screen, and to kick us off, it's going to be Dan.
Of course, it's the DC guy when we got another DC movie. So I'm going to screen this one. I don't really care if anybody likes it. I'm all in. The kid does a great job as Jaime Reyes. Ted Kord Easter eggs. Batman's a fascist. I think the aliens are going to be the big bad for the DC universe going forward. And the suit doesn't always listen to him, et cetera, et cetera. This is really cool from the it's pretty much straight from the comics, the way that they're kind of setting this up. And, even though he's in it, it's really going to be weird because James Gunn hasn't really committed, cause he said that there's also, Elseworlds tales in kind of the new DC. So the Batman's in his own thing. They're even kind of acknowledging now Joker is its own thing. So, and then when the Flash reboots the universe, he said it's in the new universe, but he hasn't said if it's Elseworld. So this might be loosely tied into the new James Gunn universe. Man, I can't wait. It looks great. I kind of like what they're doing. I can't remember the kid's name, the kid from Cobra Kai. But he looks like he does a great job, and the trailer's great. And like I said, me and Chris talk all the time how we love Ted Kord, but Jaime Reyes is another really good a Blue Beetle. It takes it in a little bit different direction because Ted Kord's more of a street level. He's more of a real person, kind of like Batman. Whereas Jaime Reyes is more of a supernatural alien type, gets his powers from alien
Ted
source.
Uses gadgets, and Jaime has the supernatural.
Yeah. But anyway, screen this one all day long.
Okay.
And just don't suck, so I can bring that up again.
So not knowing anything about Blue Beetle, having to watch the trailer and watch through it, I was enjoying the trailer, but I have no desire to go to the theater and see this superhero. action flick, whatever it is going to be. So I am going to stream this when I eventually makes it to the TV. So don't need to rush out and see this one for me because I know nothing about the Blue Beetle. Therefore, it doesn't draw me to the theater. Chris?
I hate to say it, Dan. I'm going to stream this one. It's just Ted Kord's my Blue Beetle. I do love the character.
Can we get that on a bumper sticker? Ted Kord's my
Ted
Blue Beetle.
That's good.
I'll put that on mine when it's running in the theater. Yeah, Ted Kord's my Blue Beetle. What I'm looking forward to, however, is when we finally get Booster, and then we can talk.
The Blue and the Gold will be a great movie, and I think they're going to do that.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, I hope it's good. But this is one that I would. It's sort of the same level of Shazam. I really enjoyed Shazam, but I had no desire to see it at the theater. And when the new Shazam comes out streaming, I'll watch it too. So it's the same level.
To me, by the way, boy, did the second Shazam tank. Oh my gosh.
It did make a lot of money. Did you see it? I still wanted to see it, but it did make a lot of money. And
I saw it in the theater. I just thought it was an average movie, but boy, I mean, it lost a lot of money.
Because I saw the whole movie 2 months before it came out because everything I streamed was nothing but Shazam trailers. And I was like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
I just hope they don't do that with Guardians with all those trailers. So I'm sorry, Marty, you're still going with Blue Beetle.
No, that's all right. So for me, I'm also going to stream it. I'm interested enough to see it because I want to see. I like the actor who plays him. I just don't need to see it on the big screen. I just hope it's good. I'm sorry. I thought the Batman's a fascist was stupid. The guy who gives away all of his money to people and everything like that's the fascist. Please give me a break.
I think that was because it was what's his name?
George Lopez.
Yes, it was George Lopez being George Lopez. So I thought that was pretty funny. And there's in a Batman world, somebody would be saying
that's
that.
True.
And I think it was more of kind of a culture thing, and I that's why it made me laugh. Like
that's fair. That's fair. I hope it's good. I would love to. I want to see Booster Gold. It's probably too late. And rumored one time Nathan Fillion would have been a good Booster Gold, but he's probably too old at this point. But he'd have been perfect for that.
I still think Paul Rudd would still make a good. You just got, or even Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds could be anything, but the charisma. You need a fast talking, good charisma guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so that ends it. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do our draft, where you're going to draft a movie. And you're looking for the one that makes the most money in the U.S. box office. And since Tony won last time, he'll be drafting last. And Chris came in last, so you'll get to draft first, which means whatever you don't say will be my second pick.
I'm in the hot seat on this one because there's a lot of good ones here on this one. So it's between it's tough. It's between 3 movies with me right now. Probably only 2. There's one that might be a safe bet, but I'm gonna go with my heart and believe, like I did with Jurassic World, that Indiana Jones is going to bring it home.
Oh my gosh. So I was not expecting that. All right. Hold on.
Oh, Marty.
I was not
Marty could be leaving
that.
something for me here.
But I'll remind all of you that is the only one we all said we were going to screen.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
I'm telling you, people want a good indie. And if it's good, this is a risk. This is a big risk. But if it's good, I think it'll beat all the rest of these.
It's going to be interesting because it's already it's jumping off in a little bit because people are we're still scarred from the last one. So
yeah, but everybody wants an indie. They want indie back.
They really want indie back. Yeah,
and I can't not pick Indiana Jones. I mean, it's just one of those things. There are 2 other choices right there, Marty. I know it's tough.
And we're vamping for Marty because I know he's having a hard time deciding.
Yeah, it's tough.
I really thought that
I was not expecting
to
to have the choice of the 2.
Hey,
do I go
let's
with? Okay, so I don't think it's trending very well, and it's not going to do I'm always surprised by how well this franchise does, even though I pick on Dan all the time. I'm going Transformers.
Wow. Oh, Lord, wow.
What?
Whoa, I wouldn't have expected that in a million years.
So, you know what?
All
That's...
If
So we talk about this on the Geek All-Stars.
box office for all the Transformers movies.
Yes.
It's always
usually
insane.
He's
really
absolutely
well.
correct because I think I won a draft one year because Transformers, while the movie wasn't good, made so much money. So we talk about this on the Geek All-Stars when we do drafts where we try to draft because the audience will vote on our picks on our show. And sometimes you pick for who's gonna vote, but Marty's picking for who's gonna go see it. Now, there may be two of us. I don't even remember. There may be two of us that had it as steaming, but there's a billion people that are going to just go see it. Maybe not in the U.S., but there's a lot of people that are going to go see this movie.
Well,
not just me.
That's the same reason why I took Indy. Because like they're going to be, it's cross generational. There's a lot of people who want to see Indiana Jones back in. You're right about Transformers. It's a chalk pick, not a good pick.
It is,
but it's a chalk pick.
Oh, I love it. That's a great pick.
No, I'm not saying it's a good pick. I'm just saying like it's not a good movie. But.
So
that leaves Dan with an easy pick.
Yes, and if there's one thing we've learned on these drafts is you never bet against Marvel. And I am taking Guardians of the Galaxy without a doubt.
But it was between Indy and Guardians for me.
There is there is Marvel fatigue.
There is.
I
just think Guardians might be.
Yes.
Guardians might be exempt from the fatigue. I think
it's possible, but the only reason that gave me pause was Ant-Man. It really did, because I was thinking, well, are people burn out after all this stuff? But I will say, Guardians is a whole different animal than Ant-Man.
Yeah.
But so Ant-Man was my tie between the two. Yeah.
But Guardians is trending to have a lower opening weekend than Guardians 2.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I believe it when I see it. I think it's got staying power. Plus, and it's also, we talked about this in the past, where
because Fast X comes out the next week.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, my turn.
Yep.
All
You're
right,
up for two.
You get to go for two. Well, obviously, Fast X.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Those
who
are
doesn't
the
like a
four.
car?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a car movie? And to your point, Chris, there's everybody's, regardless of what I think, people are sucked into these car movies. All right, it's beautiful.
100%.
And then I'm going to go with my next pick, because we serpentine this. I'm going with the Spider-Verse.
Yep. Good call.
Good picks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kids movie. Perfect.
Yeah. And again, here's another movie where I don't think a lot of us really liked, and I don't think one of us screened. But there's no doubt that Little Mermaid is going to make a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going with the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Crap.
Now we start getting rough.
Okay, so looking over what's left over, Mission Impossibles never do well. Can Elemental make a comeback? You know what? I'm going to say a big first weekend, and we'll give a little bit of a boost to The Flash, just because people want to see Michael Keaton.
I was really hoping you wouldn't pick The Flash. That was the one I wanted.
Wow, with Marty, what's going to happen? This is going to be like CG. Like Marty's going to rip off he's going to unzip, and it's going to be me.
Now you get two picks.
I know, but what's left is rough. I mean, you say Mission Impossible doesn't do well, but out of all the ones on our list here,
sure.
I think that the safest one is Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do I go after that?
Barbie.
Not Well, but I think Barbie will make some money. And that thing is, like, do I pick it? And if it is this dark horse thing that's actually funny and good and catches on, people really want to watch it. But at the same time, I don't think that's going to happen. To me, it's between Elemental and Turtles. But I don't know. Like you said, you were mentioning during the podcast, Marty's like Pixar is mixed lately. Like it's not a sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Incredibles 3 or something like that, sure. I'm gonna pick
math
Turtles.
is math.
Did we get Incredibles 3 already, or is there only two?
No, only two.
There's been so many of these franchises I can't ever tell.
All right, what you got?
I'll go with Turtles.
All right, then I'll take Elementals.
Yeah.
Oh. Now there's almost literally nothing left for me.
Barbie.
Wow. I guess, you know what? Whatever. I'll take Barbie. I don't care.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Watch
Barbie.
the dark horse win the whole thing.
Yep, I'll take Barbie.
Wow. Okay. So I'm torn here between the one I told Marty put on here, The Machine, for the comedy, the dark comedy. I don't know how popular this guy was. I always look towards ones that stay in the theater the longest when we come to these picks, because Blue Beetle is so late in the season. I think it will have a hard time making me money to catch up.
Right, Right, but I think we traditionally have waited
go
until
to
October. Yeah.
But still, you've got so much. It depends on how quickly the machine gets out of the theater, right? And will people have movie fatigue at the end of the summer, or will people be looking for something exciting to see at the end of the summer because of all these other movies? It's always a hard pick with those at the end.
Yeah.
I just don't see where it's sad. Oppenheimer could beat it. I just don't see that. And Blue Beetle, it's a DC movie, and so I'm going to go with the one I told him to put on there. I'm going to go with The Machine. And nice. I'm thinking that while mom, dad, and little brother and little sister go to Little Mermaid, the teenagers are going to go see The Machine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, because remember Dunkirk killed.
I know.
Okay.
But it's 3 hours long. It's a 3-hour tour.
So was Dunkirk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I said what I said. I can't take it back. All right.
So here we go. So this is the Dark Horse picks. This is each of us throwing out a movie that we didn't talk about. They show up on the list.
And I can't believe I got to go last on this one.
No. I thought we in the past, I thought we went ahead and did the, you just go ahead and since no one knows about it, you get to go first.
I do?
I have no
I thought we just kept going Serpentine.
No, okay. Serpentine. I think it's only fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And crap.
That means Tony has to have a pick.
No, I have one. I gotta remember that my screen was shut down. Oh crap!
Thankfully, I have 4. Just hope I have a decent one left at the end here.
Hold on, give me no. Y'all probably know it. It was. Sorry.
It's all right.
There it is. All right. Mine is The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah. Demeter.
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 That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That is a Dark Horse one.
That is dark.
It's dark. It's for those who don't know, it's about getting Dracula on a ship. It looked very interesting to me, and I think people want a horror movie sometime in the middle of summer.
Oh, of course. That's the best time for a horror movie.
Yeah, to really come out of nowhere, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just wait.
All right, Dan.
So this is another hard one because trying to figure out because I saw some Dark Horses, but I just didn't know if they're going to be So I hope I don't pick something in and find out it's a Netflix. So you guys have to tell me because Marty, you probably have a good list here.
I do.
So it's not really a whole lot left because it seems like there's a lot of rom-coms and kind of raunchy comedies left. But I'm going to go. Okay, so Crazy Rich Asians made a lot of money a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to go with Joyride. I think that's supposed to be out in theaters. Mm-hmm. And it has a similar vibe. And I was crying watching this trailer. I was laughing so hard. So I'm going to go with Joyride. I got a couple to see if anybody else picks. We can talk about it real quick after we do the draft quick. But just see if any of you guys saw these other trailers. But yeah, Joyride will be my pick.
Okay. That's a good pick. Was that R?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go with the family movie.
Don't pick it. Don't do it. Don't you dare.
Should I not pick Haunted Mansion?
No. No. I was hoping it didn't lake it to me because that is a no-brainer. Come on.
That's a good one too.
From Walt Disney, Haunted Mansion. Now, I think they've done that one before, so I guess it's just another one.
Yeah. But it's got a good cast. It's got a good trailer. It's like, it is Disney. It's
kids. Yep.
I see, but here's the thing. It's going to go to theaters, but how quickly will people say, you know what? Why do I need to go to a theater? I can stream it. And we're not counting Disney Plus subscriptions.
That's true. It's true.
It's true. That's very true. But I so wish that that's a good pick. That's a really good pick. So it comes down to me. Woo! Talk about picking from the dregs here. So yes, Dan, there are 2 raunchy comedies / R-rated comedies.
I've got a sausage party for you if you want it.
I know what
you know which one you're going
to say, and I could pick it just to do it because this movie might do okay. It's a tough sell though for pet owners.
Yeah,
I think that I'm with Tony, in that people are going to want to go see a horror movie during the summer, and all of the buzz right now is behind The Boogeyman. It is recently been said that they have gone back after test screenings and have edited it down because people are being too scared and screaming through all the places that they need to have plot points. So they've gone in and added pacing to the movie, and it's adapted from not this is a big selling point. It's adapted from an old Stephen King short story, but all the buzz right now is behind it, and I think that it might be one of those that kind of sneaks in where people are like, "Yeah, I want something different. I'm going to go see that." So I'll take The Boogeyman.
All right,
because I don't want to take these R-rated comedies right now, because especially I was going to say Strays just because I picked the Sausage Party way back in the day, but I'm like, I'm not doing that again. After watching the trailer as a dog owner and a dog lover, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to test with people with like the cruelty. So it's supposed to have heart, I know, but I don't know.
All right, there we go. We finished up the draft, Marty. We finally finished.
That's it. So Tony, just kind of wrap this thing up. What was the number for everybody of screening, streaming, and steaming?
Oh, well, this is unscientific total, so it's approximate because I lost count and how I was doing this. But for Chris, we have approximately 6 screens, 5 streams, and 2 steams. For Marty, we've got 6 screens and 3 streams and 3 steams. So I missed one of his somewhere in there. Dan, we've got I missed 2 of yours, but yes, 7 screens. Okay, 7 screens. There they are. 3 streams and 3 steams.
4 steams. 4 steams.
4. That doesn't make sense. But
Elemental, okay. Mission Impossible, Barbie, and Oppenheimer.
Well, we only had 13 movies on the list. But
all right, so maybe I might have only had 6 screens.
Maybe only had 6 screens.
Yeah, I only had 6 screens.
Thank you. All right, so we'll go with that.
It's hard when you're looking at a thing because stream and screen are way too close together with the letters.
Yeah.
And I just wrote nope on the other ones.
And unscientific for me, screen is 2. We all expected that. And then stream.
Nothing has changed in 4 years.
Nothing. Stream is 6 and steam is 4. So it's probably 7 steams because I'm 1 short on there as well. Well, it could have been steam the way I'm feeling tonight. So that's where we're at, Marty.
Wow, that is good. So here's the thing, y'all. Tony, if he's going to do it for us, we'll on our guild, BGG Guild will be updating the totals. I will probably take that and, because we didn't have Discord back then, take the exact same thing and post it on our Discord server. Under the movie section, we'll create a thread where we can have the running totals of how we've done. And I guess we'll start out next week with Guardians, and which will come out strong. Obviously, I think it will. So, guys, that was fun. It has been way too long.
Yeah, it's always a blast. Time. I look forward to this every year.
Well, we're back.
Hopefully it won't be another 4 years before we get to do it.
Yeah, well, in one of these days, we're going to have to meet in Greensboro to go to the movies or something and, pick a weekend day and do something like that.
We should pick one that we all said we would screen and go together. Was there
I think it was only Indiana Jones.
Indy. It was only Indy.
And I don't want to give any more money to Chris, so.
Come on. I mean, what's $40? Come on.
Well, it's kind of like, I used to have friends who had beach houses down at Ocean Isle, and now they don't anymore, so can't take you there anymore for a cheap game weekend. So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll go somewhere. Let's go to the zoo as well.
We can go to the zoo.
That's not very far from us. That's a great place.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So before we get out of here, why don't you tell people where they can find you if they want to come listen to your shows and everything like that?
Well, you can find Chris and I on the Geek All-Stars podcast. We just did episode 250, and we just talked about a little. And of course, we had Riddle on. We talked about just about anything, like we usually do on the Geek All-Stars. And you can find me at GeekJockDan on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at DiceHateMe. I also host the State of Games podcast with TC Petty and Daryl Louder. The recent podcast that I just recorded, a mini-sode, as I call them, mini-sode with Josh Mills, designer of Milkman, drops tonight. And tomorrow morning, Milkman launches on Kickstarter. So hopefully everybody out there might check it out.
Yeah, and so that will be when this episode drops. It will have been out a week, so make sure to go check that out. And for our regular listeners, this is kind of an off episode for us. This is kind of released in between our 2 regular episodes. So we'll be right back after this in the next episode with our usual crap that Tony, that you and I do where we talk about a bunch of things and maybe a few games here and there.
Yeah, I was going to say off episode. That's a standard for us.
That's fair.